Why hello everyone and welcome back to SamCastGS. I haven't made a video, like an actual video, since before Comic-Con, and it's redonkulous. I was going to make a video on Thursday. I couldn't make one yesterday because that's the day that I hang out with my lovely girlfriend Susan, but that's beside the point. For all intents and purposes, since yesterday was not a possible day for me to make a video, we're gonna say that yesterday was Thursday. So I was going to make a video yesterday, but some crazy stuff happened, and that is the story that I'm going to share with you today. So yesterday, I sat down in my chair, the comfy chair, in front of this computer, this one right here that you are seeing me on, and there was a knock at the door. The first thought was, I need to make this video, my subscribbles are counting on me. But I thought, you know what, it might be important, I should go answer the door. And who should be at the door but Steve the vegetarian velociraptor. Quick little side note, I was going to include images for Steve and other characters that may or may not be in this story, but when I add them into iMovie, it does this stupid little zoom thing without me doing anything. I guess that's just something to do with the fact that I'm putting images on iMovie. So Steve is at the door, and I'm like, oh, dude, what are you doing here? You kind of scared the crap out of me. I need your help, Samuel. Couldn't you have, like, called or something? I mean, it's kind of weird you being a vegetarian talking velociraptor and just kind of walking around this neighborhood. I've gone through several cell phones. My claws keep kind of digging into them and they're breaking. That is a good point. And so Steve goes on to explain the situation. It would seem that Joe was not alone. Ooh, Joe the alien who we stopped the last time I wasn't able to make a video yesterday? Wink, wink. Why are you winking? That's really weird. I don't know. Go on. Apparently Joe has a brother. His name is Jimbo. Jimbo the alien from space is his official title. So Steve was sent to my house, which was an odd choice considering that Thomas is a ninja and he would be far less conspicuous. But I digress. And we traveled together to the Ninja Organization of Space Exploration, or NOSE. They probably should have thought about that acronym a little more. So Thomas is waiting for us at NOSE. We didn't see him right away because he was kind of a ninja. And then he dropped down from the ceiling and we were like, ah, dude, you have to do that. I apologize. I am a ninja, as you know. I'm sure that Steve has informed you of Jimbo. That reminds me, for an alien race that's hell-bent on destroying the Earth, don't you think they would have, you know, cooler spacey names? I don't know. Apparently everyone on that planet has a name that starts with a J. Huh. Well, okay. Where's Fred? I haven't seen Fred yet. Fred is on a top secret mission in the Antarctic. What kind of mission? He is looking for evidence of Jimbo's whereabouts in the Antarctic. So we had to formulate a plan to prevent Jimbo from breaking into the NOSE and releasing his brother Joe. And then they would steal the piece of alien technology, which apparently they only have one of on their planet. You would think that they would have multiples and Jimbo would have one of his own, and then they could easily take over the planet, and freeing Joe would be that much easier. But no, they just came with more vegetable creatures. Steve was very happy about that. It would seem that I'm going to be having a pleasant meal today. He was like clicking his claws together and it was kind of creepy. So we got in contact with Fred, who is still a rabid polar bear. I don't know what kind of rabies he has, but apparently it's not very aggressive and it is not going to kill him. He appeared on this really big monitor and he was wearing a headset, but the thing that goes to the microphone was extra long because he has like a snout, and I had to have like a spit guard on it because of all the foam. Reporting to the new society. We hear you loud and clear. That was Thomas speaking. You can kind of differentiate between us by the voices. So Fred explains, I found evidence of a base that's just kind of over here in the Antarctic. Well, that's a little convenient considering that Jimbo decided to put a base right in the spot where one of our most powerful operatives lives. Yes, these aliens don't exactly plan very well. I would have to agree with Thomas. So we all got into Thomas's helicopter. He has a helicopter, which took a really long time to get there. But we got there, and Thomas had special suits for us so that we wouldn't freeze to death. We got to Antarctica, and we met up with Fred, who was waiting just outside of Jimbo's evil base. At that point, I looked at Thomas like, is this really our infiltration team? We've got a YouTuber, a ninja, a vegetarian velociraptor, and a rabid polar bear. No offense to you guys are awesome. To be fair, we took down Joe without that much trouble. Especially since I have an advantage over that army. Could you stop clicking your claws together? That's a little creepy. I apologize. You just did it. Never mind. So Fred had apparently discovered a back door to the base. It had a neon sign that said back door. We assumed it was a trap, but Thomas checked it out and apparently it's just a back door that is very conveniently labeled. So we went in through the back door where there were no vegetable guards. Apparently Jimbo is not very good with the security. So we made our way through the alien base, and Steve would take care of the vegetable guards here and there. He would just be like, "Ha, dinner!" So that was pretty easy to deal with. We got to the central control room where Jimbo was waiting for us, and he was like stroking a space cat, like a space Bond villain. "I see you made it into my base without too much trouble." Well, you very clearly marked the back door and didn't leave a lot of opposition on the way here. "I see. You are quite resourceful." "Okay. Now where are you holding my brother?" "Wait, I thought you knew already." "Of course I do. I just wanted to make sure that you also know." "I don't think you know." "Of course I know! Tell me! Why do we have to tell you if you know?" "I am testing your intelligence!" While we were arguing about this, Thomas was making his way around the walls because he's a ninja, and he was cutting some power lines, which Jimbo didn't notice. These aliens really need to work on their observational skills and their organizational skills. They just need to work on a whole bunch of skills. I mean, they sent their most powerful piece of alien technology through FedEx to my house. The wrong address. How do you accidentally send a piece of alien technology to a human residence? That's just ridiculous. Eventually Jimbo was like, "I've had enough of this! Fluffles! Sick 'em!" And Fluffles was the only asset he had that wasn't made of vegetables. And he attacked Fred, and Fred was like, so Fred is battling Fluffles. As he's doing that, Jimbo calls in more vegetable warriors, and so Steve was occupied. So it was just me and Thomas somewhere in the rafters. Yes, they had rafters in this alien base. Jimbo pulls out a really big alien gun. He starts shooting at me, and Thomas starts throwing ninja stars, but apparently there's a shield around him. It seems Jimbo is only proficient when it comes to combat, because everything up until this point was kind of easy, but then suddenly he has like this elaborate plan. He's got Fluffles battling Fred. He's got the vegetable warriors battling Steve. Now he's got a force field so that Thomas can't throw ninja stars at him like we did to Joe. I'm dodging and like rolling. I got very good at rolling since that last encounter with an alien gun. Apparently rolling is one of the best defenses against alien guns. Just so you know. Jimbo keeps shooting. He's like, "Stand still so I can kill you." That is a very poor suggestion. That was me rolling and talking at the same time, which is kind of difficult. And I looked around and found Thomas. I was like, "Dude, find out how he's putting up this force field." Well, actually, it was more like, "Find out how he's..." And then generally it was just find out what the force field is being powered by and shut it off. And his response was, "Will do, Samuel. Now take this katana." He threw the katana at me. Thank God I was dodge rolling because it landed like right behind me after I dodged. So I grabbed the katana and I started deflecting the alien gun blasts. And so now I'm like fighting my way closer and closer to Jimbo. And Jimbo's getting more desperate because his vegetable warriors are slowly being depleted by Steve. And Fluffles had already been subdued by Fred. So Fred was ready to be on the offensive again. He was like, "Sam, I'm ready to be on the offensive again." And I was like, "Great, you should probably help me out." And so Fred charges at the barrier and he hits it. And it didn't do much. I mean, Fred bounced back and did like a backflip. He landed on his feet, which was impressive for a polar bear. I mean, it's huge. And he looked at me like, "I can't break the barrier. We have to rely on Thomas." So we continued deflecting the alien gun and everything. And then Thomas finally found this cord that was going directly up into the area where the force field was. So he cut it and Fred jumped at him. But Jimbo dodged very quickly. However, he dodged right into Steve, who was like, "I got you now." And he grabbed him with his claws that he'd been clinking together the entire time. So we had Jimbo subdued. Finally, everything was settled and we imprisoned Jimbo back at Nose. And Steve brought me back home. And of course, after all that, there really wasn't enough time on Thursday to make a video. So thanks for tuning in. Feel free to subscribe. There's a link to my channel in the description. As always, I always appreciate more subscribbles. I hope you enjoyed this fantastic tale of adventure and strangeness and alien cats named Fluffles. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Goodbye.